So at this point here, we shuffle the person's card to the bottom of the deck. So we don't have to know what it is, but you can look if you want. So mine would be the 10 of diamonds, okay? So how we're gonna go about that sloppy shuffle that you saw me do is we're gonna go into the normal spread motion here. So go ahead and spread about 8 to 10 cards into your hand. Perfect. And when you're there, lift up those few cards, okay? Yep, you're already doing it there. Turn your wrist back towards you, just like that. Okay, perfect. Yep, just like this. And now when you add more cards, you don't want to add them, you don't want to add them in between. You just want to add them underneath the spread that you're already doing. So you basically take this hand and rest these cards on top and spread maybe 8 to 10 more cards. But again, they're going underneath all the other cards that you just spread, okay? So you can lift up those cards now and rotate your hand back forward. So now you have like 10 cards face up, 10 cards face down. So again, spread to the bottom, lift up. So now you have like 20 face up, 10 face down. Add more to the bottom. Perfect. Lift up, rotate wrist, more. Lift up, rotate wrist. And a few of us are starting to get close to the bottom. And when you do, I like to have my wrist turned back towards me. So we started like this, and we made our wrist awkward by turning it back. But I like to have my wrist turned back towards me when I get close to the bottom. And I'm going to push all the cards except the last cards. Like Jolene, where you're at is good right now, okay? So when I'm here, and I'll go through this again. I know this is pretty fast. I'll go through this one more time. When I turn my wrist back to the normal direction, I'm just going to put this last card here on top, face down. Okay? So how the deck looks right now is that one card face down, a lot of cards face up, and a lot of cards face down, okay?
Yeah.
So everyone go ahead and reset their deck with me. Just all going the same direction, all face down. Cool. No, it's okay. Yeah, take your time. That looked good. That setup looked great, though. Cool. Everyone ready? So try all go at the same pace so we get to the last card together. So again, go about 10 cards into your hand here. Pick up, turn your wrist back towards you. Push more cards onto the bottom. And you're catching those under your thumb here. Under your thumb here should catch those newly spread cards, okay? Lift up, turn over. Now these newly spread cards should be under your 4 fingers here. Lift up, turn over. New cards, catch them underneath your thumb. We'll go up and forward again. Maybe like a few cards. Up and back, so our wrist should be turned awkwardly back towards us now. So go ahead and turn it back towards you. Awesome. Now spread every card except the last card. Okay. Now when we're here, we're going to turn our wrist back the normal direction and then slide that card on top. So you want to do it in one fluid motion so it hides it, right? So you guys stay where you're at. What I see people do sometimes is they go through, they do the sloppy shuffle, and then they're here, and they just put this card on top. And it's like, that looks a little bit strange. So I think that when you go back and forth, again, you'll get quicker at this and it helps to sell it more. When you're here, you just kind of turn it over like that. So that's why I like to put that card on top as I'm turning it. Cool. So everyone should be in this position now. One card face down, a lot face up, and then a lot face down. Okay? And one other thing about this trick you want to do beforehand, and some of your decks might not be great for this, but we'll start over again, and after I show you what to do, we'll try it again. You want the deck to have a nice curve to it. So my cards right now, when they're resting, you see this gap right in the middle there? Right? It's because the cards right there in the middle are back to back. So if they're all curved the same way, when you put cards the other direction, they're both curved away from each other. And that's going to help me easily separate the cards in the middle, because there's only one spot in the middle where they're back to back. So if your cards are completely flat, then it might not work. So yeah, your deck looks newer, so we'll help bend your cards in a second, okay? Good, that's the spot you want. Do you see the bend?
Yeah.
Okay, it's very light. So actually, we'll just go ahead and jump to that now, because that's the hardest part. When I grab that, I don't like to grab my fingertips, because I feel like if I grab with my fingertips, it's too strong. So it's going to sound weird, but grab more with your knuckles, here and here, okay? So you're not putting direct pressure on the deck, but you're kind of just grabbing with your knuckles here, and then it should separate in that spot where you want it. It's just a lighter touch, and I find it easier to find that center point, where you don't even have to look at the deck, you can just be able to grab, and it'll separate there. Perfect. Right. Now to get to that point, so go ahead and just put your cards back on top. Right, to get to that point, for you guys who were here last week, it's going to be a similar motion to when we had someone tell us when to stop. our right hand here is going to come in for support. So palm facing down over top of the deck, the right thumb on the back edge, the other 4 fingers on the top edge here, just like this. We're not going to completely let go, but you could if you wanted. So these 4 fingers are here for support, and we're going to drag the thumb, left thumb on the top left corner of the deck. So yeah, if you can do it one hand, that's great. I think the right hand helps provide support. So what you're going to do, because you want to help convince people that the deck's mixed, and they believe you after doing that sloppy shuffle, if you do it quick, that the cards are mixed up. So go down about 1/4 of the way down the deck. So I go down about 1/4 and stop, and you're going to use your right hand here to separate those cards. So you're going to turn it over and show them. And I like to say at this point, you have some cards that are face to back, okay? Then we go ahead and put that back normal. Now we'll riffle again, 3/4 of the way down the deck, past that center point. Okay? Yep, and now we turn that over and we say back to face, right? So like, oh, they have to be mixed. Put that back, and you find that magical point, right? I'm not gonna look, I hope I get it. I got it, right? So you have to have that light touch, and again, if your deck's bent, it helps, and we'll review that again. Then you say, they're back to back. But instead of putting the cards back normal like you did before, when you're in this position, I gestured a little bit, maybe carry on the conversation for a second, and then put the cards back like this. So you're not turning your wrist back over, it's just how you have it, right on top. Perfect. And then you guys saw me doing the demonstration earlier. Sorry for you guys in the video, you missed the demonstration. But I like to do a little bit of a shake to sell it. So I grab the cards, and I say, just the shake right there. The entire order of the deck was restored, except for one card here. Wow. So go ahead and keep filming. The most important part about this trick is we can get this sleight of hand done pretty quickly, but tell your own story. Like, make it personal, make it yours. I used to call this one the drunk man shuffle, right? Like, I gave my deck out to someone in the bar, right? And he didn't know what was going on, so like he did it all sloppily, right? And then I started volunteering at the hospital and other places, so I had to change my story a little bit to make it more PG, right? So that's what I say, you know, when I was a kid, I would go about like my dad would select the card. And I'm gonna go ahead, I know you guys saw it, but I'm gonna do that performance one more time just so you guys can see it in action. And go ahead and look for everything we talked about. And I'll do it with a little more speed, but just know that with time you'll be able to do that as well. So do you wanna help me again? Mm-hmm. Awesome. So all the cards, same direction, right? Why don't you go ahead and choose any card. And you go ahead and show everyone, and go ahead and show the camera too. Okay, go ahead and put that card right back here in the middle, and we'll go ahead and cover that up, right? So when I was younger, first starting Magic, I didn't know how to shuffle cards. I couldn't do the riffle shuffle, nor could I do the overhand shuffle. So when I was younger, my dad would select a card, put it back in the deck, and I would mix them up by doing the sloppy shuffle. So I'd go through the deck, cards go in all different directions. And he saw this, and he'd be like, great. I'm going to be the one that has to clean this up, right? I said, no, just wait, I realized something. Because depending on where you look right now, some cards are face to back, some are back to face, but some might be back to back, right? So I took the deck right here, gave it a little bit of a shake, and I went to hand it to him. And he went to look through it, right? And he was amazed when all the cards were facing the same direction, except for one.
Wow.
Right? So you guys saw everything that I reviewed there. Again, I did it a little more quickly. Key to this trick, develop your own story, but also I like it when I'm constantly talking. I know some people don't like magic tricks when people are always talking because then it distracts people, but I think it engages people. Because if I just sat there silently and you were watching me, you'd see more things most likely because you have a keener look, and it's just like, what are they doing? But if I'm describing to you what I'm doing, I think it helps engage people more and they enjoy it more. Cool, you're set.